to Standard 9, dear students. Hope you all are enthusiastic to begin with the new academic year. We are going to begin with the subject Maths 2. Other term used for it is geometry. Although the term geometry sounds scary, but there is nothing new to what you have been studying in the previous years. Geometry involves study of the figures, whereas Maths 1, which also means algebra, is the study of the numbers and the variables. Up till Standard 8, you have studied both the parts clubbed together. But only the difference now is this year onwards, we are going to study them separately in two parts as Maths 1 and Maths 2. So let us begin with our first chapter, chapter number 1, Basic Concepts in Geometry. To begin with, let us first find how the term geometry was originated. Geometry was derived basically from two Greek words, geometry, that is geo and metric. Geo meaning earth and metric meaning measurement, that is measurement of earth or measurement of land on the earth. You know that in order to draw any figures such as a circle or a square or a rectangle, we need to know its measure. Without measurement, we cannot draw any figure. For example, to draw a circle, we need to know its radii. Considering the radii and taking appropriate center, we can draw a circle. Similarly, in order to draw any four-sided figure, we need to know their length of the sides or their angles. Thus, geometry is study associated with the figures and their measurements. Now let us go on to the history of geometry. Since ancient times, the then mathematicians were using the concepts of geometry for various uses and applications. Ancient Greek and first mathematician known as Thales was the one to use geometry in determining the height of the famous Egyptian monument, that is Pyramid of Egypt. He estimated the height of it by merely observation of its shadow and concepts of using similarity. We have already studied what are similar figures. Thereafter, many ancient and Indian mathematicians contributed in the study of the geometry. Thus, geometry was being used since ancient times, and geometry up till now has wide range of the applications, including construction of the monuments, buildings, determining the heights of the particular objects, or determining the distances between any two objects, and many more. So geometry is mostly used for finding out the distances, lengths, and basically used more often in the navigation purposes. Now after knowing its applications, now let us try to revise some of the basic geometric figures which we have already studied in our previous classes. That is a point, a line, and a plane. Now let us get back to a point. A point, also known as a dot. Now a point or a dot cannot be defined, but we can give an example for it. For example, a tip of a pen or a pencil. That defines a point. A line. A line is a collection of the points which are collinear. I hope you all are aware of the terms collinear and non-collinear. Collinear means that the points are being aligned in one single or a straight line. A line has no end point. It can only be extended to infinity. Therefore, it is shown with arrows at both the sides of it. If we consider any 2 points on the line, that is point A and B as shown in the figure, let's say that the length and the distance between them is 5 centimeter as shown. Now here we cannot extend the line AB. Why? Because it has a definite length, that is 5 centimeter, and thus we can say that it the line which is being formed having two definite endpoints, okay, is referred to as line segment. So here we represent the line segment AB, which cannot be extended. Now let us get back to a plane. A plane is being formed by the collection of points just as a line. Okay, so we can see in the figure that is plane is constructed with the help of the points over it. An example, now all the things which are being written on this whiteboard with a marker lie on the one particular plane. But if we consider a box, we have 6 different surfaces over it, and all the 6 surfaces represents 6 different planes. Now which are the 6 surfaces? The one which lie on both the sides, that is left and right, the one which lies on the top, the other surface which lies at the bottom, the one which is facing you, and the one opposite to it at the back side, which we cannot see. Thus, in a box, all 6 surfaces represent 6 different planes, and therefore there is a difference between one plane and the other plane, and the points or the concepts which lie on the one particular plane cannot be correlated with the other plane. I hope all these concepts are quite clear to you all. Let us begin with our first topic, coordinates of points and distance. We have studied number line in our previous classes. A number line is usually represented using the integers. At the center, we begin with the integer 0. Towards the right of 0 lies all the positive integers. Towards the left of the 0 lies all the negative integers on a number line. As seen in the figure, you can see that certain integers are being represented by particular points. These points correspond to particular integers. That is, the number corresponding to one particular point will be denoted by that particular alphabet, and here number which is corresponding to A is -4. So thus we can write coordinate of point A is equal to -4. Similarly, we can also find the coordinates of B, O, C, D, E as -2, 0, 1, 3 and 5 respectively. Now let us move to how to find out distance between any two points on the number line. Distance between any two points on the number line can be found out by using a formula bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate as highlighted in the figure. As you can see, the distance between any two points can be calculated even by counting the number of the units between the 2 points. But still, we prefer using the formula. We cannot just go on counting. So therefore, we prefer using the formula for calculation purposes. And this is the easiest formula. So now, take an example. In order to find out the distance between points A and B, let us see what are the steps and how to use the formula. Distance between A and B is often represented as D bracket A comma B as seen on the right side. Okay, so distance AB can be found out by following the below steps. Coordinates of point A is equal to -4 as seen in the number line. This has to be written. coordinate of point B is equal to -2. Now try to compare between these 2 points and the integers. So now you can see that your -2 is greater than -4, and therefore the distance AB can be calculated by using the formula bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate. Formula is must, which is equal to -2 minus of -4. We know that minus becomes plus, and therefore in the next step -2 plus 4, and therefore distance AB is equal to 2. Now here distance AB is equal to 2, that is distance when we go from point A to B is 2, but the distance will remain same when we go the other way around, that is from B to A also the distance will remain as 2. You can verify that using the same formula. So we can write it in both the ways. Similarly, we can find out the distance between points B and D by finding out the coordinates of both the points. Point B has the coordinate -2, point D has the coordinate 3. And since 3 is greater than -2, so therefore distance B comma D is equal to bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate, which is equal to 3 minus of -2, which is equal to 3 plus 2. And therefore distance BD is equal to 5, which can be also written as distance D comma B. If you have noted in these two distances what we have found out, the distance between any two negative point or a positive and the negative point is always positive. We have not seen anywhere the distance as negative, even though when we consider the negative points or positive points. So distance will always be a non-zero positive real number, and therefore it won't be negative. I hope this is quite clear. We'll solve some numericals based on calculation of the distances between any 2 points on the number line. Kindly take your notebook, a pen and a textbook with you all and solve as we progress. Given in question number 1, we are given a number line and thereby some points and the coordinates associated with it. We need to find out the distance between the points mentioned. There are in all 8 sub-questions which are being given related to the same number line. We will be solving 2 of them and the remaining you can solve on your own. We'll take question number 2. Calculation of the distance between points J and A. We know that the coordinate of J is equal to -2. Coordinate of A is equal to 1 as seen in the number line, and therefore distance JA is equal to bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate, which is equal to 1 minus of -2. Here 1 is greater than -2. So therefore 1 minus of minus will become plus 2. So therefore 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 and distance JA is equal to 3. Similarly, we can calculate distance P comma J. Coordinate of P is equal to -4. Coordinate of J is equal to -2. And therefore distance P comma J is equal to bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate, which is equal to -2 minus of -4, since -2 is greater than -4, and therefore -2 plus 4 and distance PJ is equal to 2. I hope this is quite clear. Moving to question number 2. Again, we are given the coordinate of A is equal to x and coordinate of B as y, and this x and y coordinates are being given to us in the terms of the numbers. We need to find out the distance between A and B. Now here the coordinate of A is x and x corresponds to 1, and therefore coordinate of A will be also 1. Similarly, coordinate of B is y and y corresponds to 7. So therefore coordinate of B will be 7. And therefore the distance between A and B can be calculated by using the same formula, bigger coordinate minus smaller coordinate, which is equal to 7 minus 1. 7 is greater than 1. So therefore distance AB is equal to 6. Similarly, we will be solving all the remaining problems from question number 2 and completing the work. Now let us study the concept of betweenness. If points P, Q and R are three distinct collinear points on the number line, then there arises three possibilities. In the first possibility, we can see that point Q lies in between P and R. Thus, we obtained distance PQ plus distance QR is equal to distance PR. Then we can apply the concept of betweenness and show that Q lies in between P and R, and it is written as P dash Q dash R. Similarly, in the second possibility, we can see that point R lies in between P and Q, and therefore we obtain distance PR plus distance RQ is equal to distance PQ. In this, again applying the concept of betweenness, we see that point R lies in between P and Q, and thus we write it as P dash R dash Q. Similarly, we can also write in the case of the third possibility, that is R dash P dash Q, or P lies in between R and Q. Now let us solve some numericals based on the concept of betweenness. Practice set 1.1, question number 3. Find which point is between other two. If not, then state so. We'll try to solve question number 1. Here we are given three distances, and thereby we need to find out which point is in between the other two. So here in the first example, distance PR is given as 7, distance PQ is given as 10, and distance QR is given as 3. Now before we start the solution, let us first find out which is the greatest distance among all these three. We see that distance PQ is the largest, that is having distance 10 units, and therefore we'll write down the distance PQ is equal to 10. The other two distances, that is 7 and 3, which corresponds to distance PR and QR, can be added and written as distance PR plus distance QR is equal to 7 plus 3. On adding, we get answer 10, and thus we can say that distance PR plus distance QR is equal to the distance PQ. Thus we obtain the condition distance PR plus distance QR is equal to distance RQ. We can conclude that points P, R and Q are collinear points, and therefore R lies in between P and Q. On the left hand side of the condition obtained, you will see that point R is common in between distance PR and QR, and therefore we can directly write it as R lies in between P and Q. I hope this is quite clear. Let us solve one more question from question number 3. Sub-question number 6. Distance DE is equal to 5, distance EF is equal to 8 and distance DF is equal to 6. The largest distance among this is 8 and therefore we write it as distance EF is equal to 8. In the next step, we add the remaining two distances. We get distance DE plus distance DF is equal to 5 plus 6. On adding, we get distance DE plus distance DF is equal to 11. This value 11 is not equal to the distance EF, that is 8, and therefore it can be written as distance DE plus distance DF not equal to 8, and thus it is not equal to distance DEF. From this, we can conclude points D, E and F are non-collinear as their distances are not equal. I hope this is quite clear. Try to solve the remaining sums from question number 3 for homework. Now moving to question number 4. We are given points A, B, C lie on the number line. So we write points A, B, C lie on the number line, and being on the number line, points A, B, C are collinear points as mentioned. Here we are given two distances. Distance AC is equal to 10 and distance CB is equal to 8. Here we need to find out distance AB by considering all the possibilities. There are two possibilities in this case. Possibility 1, B lies in between A and C. As shown in the figure, point B lies in between A and C. I have also mentioned the distances on the number line. From the above condition, we get distance AB plus distance BC is equal to distance AC. I'll specify the reason B lies in between A and C. Substituting the given distances, I get distance AB plus 8 is equal to 10. So distance AB is equal to 10 minus 8. Therefore, distance AB is equal to 2. Thus, when B lies between A and C, distance AB is equal to 2. Second possibility is that C lies in between A and B. As shown on the number line, C lies in between the points A and B. Measures are specified, so therefore we can get distance AB is equal to distance AC plus distance CB. Since C lies in between A and B, on substituting the values, I get distance AB is equal to 10 plus 8. So therefore, distance AB is equal to 18. Thus, when point C lies between A and B, distance AB is equal to 18. Final answer, distance AB is equal to 18 or 2. Question number 5. I will be discussing these questions and you will be solving it for homework. Points X, Y and Z are three collinear points which are being given to us. If I draw it on the number line, I get X, Y and Z as shown. I have also specified the distances which are being given, that is distance XY is given as 17 and distance YZ is given as 8. We need to find out the distance XZ. Using the concept of betweenness, you will be solving this particular sum. So we get from the concept of betweenness, distance xz is equal to distance xy plus yz. Since y lies in between x and z, substitute the values wherever given and thereby get the distance xz. Now moving to the question number 6. Sub-question number 3. In this question, we are given a condition wherein the condition of betweenness is being given. Also, some distances are given and you need to find one of the distance. You have to first draw the figure and hence determine the distance from the figure. So let us draw the figure. We have drawn x, y and z as given according to the given condition on the number line. I have also specified the distances which are being given, that is distance xz. Now in this particular example, we are specified length xz but not the distance. Students, try to understand whether we take a distance or length between any 2 points, it will remain the same. That is, its value will be same. So there is nothing different in length and distance, but only thing over here is in the case of length, we do not add comma in between the 2 points which are being mentioned, as in the case of distance. So we specify it as length xy plus length yz is equal to length xz. Since we are given the condition y lies in between x and z. Substituting the distances given, root of 7 plus length yz is equal to 3 root 7. Therefore, length of yz will be equal to 3 root 7 minus root of 7, and therefore we get on subtraction length yz is equal to 2 root 7. I hope this question is quite clear. Try to solve the other two sub-questions, question number 1 and question number 2 for homework using the same concept. The last question, question number 7. In this example, we are given 3 non-collinear points. So as shown in the figure, I have taken 3 non-collinear points which are not lying in a straight line, P, Q and R. If I join all these 3 points with each other, a figure formed is a triangle, and thus we can conclude a triangle is formed by 3 non-collinear points. I hope you have understood all the sums and it is quite easy. Try to solve it and complete the exercise. Thank you for your patience and hope to see you all in the next class.